Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the JRS Cars YouTube channel. Today I have with us a vehicle that's iconic, has a massive fan following, and I'm sure can even put modern day SUVs to shame. That is none other than this 2008 Mitsubishi Pajero. Yeah guys, we finally have a proper butch macho SUV on the channel, and that's why I'm also wearing this band, because macho people drive macho SUVs. You guys can really feel the vehicle twist with the torque. Straight away starting with the styling, well, this is basically a box, but it's a very stylish box. You have a massive bull bar up front. You also have this, which can host a flag of different parties if you are a politician. This car already comes with that pre-installed. You can thank me later for that. So the headlights are hidden behind this, and yeah, it's basically the old Pajero headlights with the new clear lens technology, and that's basically it. You also have space for fog lights, but no fog lights over here. You have the Mitsubishi logo hidden behind the politician's flag, and yeah, frontal styling is pretty basic, but it's really butch. You also get this mirror over here. Now this mirror is actually for the driver to get proper visibility of the left hand side of the car, so that's why that mirror is there. And we also get the antenna, which I'll show you when you turn on the vehicle. We also get a proper functional hood scoop, and that again I'll show you when you open the engine bay. Moving to the side, we have the same butch styling, and we have these massive tires on quite small wheels. So the rim size happens to be 15-inch tires. Yeah, 15-inch wheels, but the tire size is absolutely massive. 265 by 70 R15. So really big off-road tires for, well, off-roading. That's what the car is meant for. We have a big Pajero sticker on the side. So if you didn't know what this is, you can see the sticker and know that this is a big Pajero. The mirrors are absolutely massive, and the overall dimensions of this car are really very big. We have an intercooler turbo 2800 badge over here, and that points to the intercooled and turboed 2.8 liter engine of this vehicle. Moving to the rear, we have another massive spare tire. You also have provisions for a towing hook of the vehicle if you want to tow stuff. So the brake lights of the vehicle are actually over here, so are the indicators, and moving to this side, we have a rear wiper also hidden over here, as well as these lights over here, and these are basically for the parking lights and other miscellaneous lights if you want to go off-roading. We have the SFX badge over here, which is says S and a big N, so it's SA or SN, whichever you fancy. And moving to the left of the car, wow, it took so long to come to this side. This car is absolutely massive, and guys, really, I'm really impressed with this car. I think you guys can see it from my voice. This car has been a, how do you say, a childhood dream, if you can say, because when I grew up, I really loved the Pajero, and even after driving it now, it does live up to the reputation. Right guys, so now let's check out the big 2.8 liter engine powering this beast. So that means opening the bonnet. So everything has a big macho feel in this vehicle. I forgot, you also have a Jaguar adventure sticker over there if you're the adventurous type. Now opening the bonnet is quite a task because, well, it's quite heavy, and you need to feel for the lever. There we go. Right. And guys, this hood is really so heavy, you can really do this and your gym workout for the week would be done. Anyway, so like I mentioned earlier guys, this is a properly functional air intake, and we have the intercooler over here along with the air box. Now this is the famous 2.8 liter Mitsubishi engine producing 107 bhp and 292 newton meters of torque. Now yes, this may not sound like much, but the vehicle is really short geared, plus you have a low range mode, so this makes it really capable off the road. On road too, performance is adequate, and we can check that out when we get driving. So yeah, let's carry on with the interior design of the car, and let's make sure I don't catch my fingers on the bonnet. Yeah, good, that's done, and I still have my fingers, so that's good. Alright guys, so heading inside, we have the window controls over here, as well as a small button if you don't want your passengers to roll down the windows. Door pockets are really slim, and you can only hold papers over here. Interestingly, we have a sticker over here, and that talks about the transfer case and how to use it, rather the fork transfer lever. I'll get to that in a bit. And guys, once you climb inside the cabin, literally climb inside the cabin, doors shut with a nice thud. So this is the key of the car. It just says Mitsubishi. I don't know whether the camera can pick that up. So let's turn on this Mitsubishi Pajero. There the antenna comes to life, as you guys can see. Clutch in. There. The car literally rattles and shakes to life. That points at the amount of power this vehicle has. So the engine idles quite smoothly, and for a old Pajero, I'm shocked the steering doesn't vibrate that much. There's a slight vibration from the gear lever and the transfer case as well. Other than that, it's actually quite a smooth idle experience, I must say. So anyway guys, let's quickly turn off the vehicle because we are a little low on fuel. So let's switch off the vehicle, and the vehicle turns off with a nice shake as well. Oh, one more thing guys before we continue with the interior. If you're extremely tall, you may not fit in this Pajero very well, because you see this is the maximum seating position, or the seating, the furthest you can set the seat back, and if you're a tall person, you can just correctly fit inside. So that's a ergonomic issue. But then this car was designed by the Japanese in the early 80s, and Japanese, as you all know, are not very tall. Anyway guys, let's continue with this instrument cluster. So we have your tachometer, your speedometer. You have this dial over here, and that tells you when you're engaging the 2 high, 4 low, etc. We have an engine temperature meter over there and a fuel meter over there, and as you guys can see, we have very low fuel. Anyway, so this car has done 1,63,000 kilometers, and it's on a second owner right now. Despite that, I just took a short drive in this car. This car feels absolutely rock solid. Anyway guys, continuing with the interior. So we have an interior light over here, which is actually quite cute in such a big vehicle. We don't have an internal auto dimming inside rear mirror. This is a manual mirror. We have your AC vents over here. We have your AC controls and a touchscreen system over here, which is for the music system obviously. We have a small storage over here, which if you want, you can put whatever you want. The gear lever, the transfer case lever, or shifting between 4 high, 4 low, 2 high, all off-road stuff which you don't use over here. We have a small ashtray as well. Cubby hole in the center is quite small, and the glove box too is quite small. One thing this vehicle has which is really awesome is this. We have an altimeter and an inclinometer, as well as an outside temperature gauge, and these three really make this car feel really off-roady. Right guys, so we have your indicator controls on the right, as well as your headlight controls in the same lever. On the left we have the wiper controls, and behind that we have buttons for the heated rear windscreen, as well as adjusting the brightness of the instrument cluster. Hazard light switch over there. We have a switch for the fog lights, I guess, which are not connected anyway. Now this button, you asked me what it is. Well, this is that's the horn. Yeah, so basically this doesn't work. So we have this one over here, and if you ask me, this is the coolest part of the vehicle. More of that when we get driving. So the seats, the seats are quite comfortable. As you guys can see, they are quite big and very supportive. We have a hole through the headrest, so you can irritate the rear passengers if you want. And yeah, that's pretty much it at the front. Let's now move to the back. Alright guys, climbing into the back seat, we don't have any rear door pockets. We do have an ashtray, so that's something to take note of. And as you guys can see, space at the back is quite good, despite, see, this seat is being pushed to the maximum at the back, like I mentioned earlier, and still you do have adequate leg room and knee room. So let's quickly climb inside using the grab handles, and yes, wow, sitting at the back over here, really you feel like you're sitting on a throne. You're sitting at least an inch higher than the front seats. You don't have a center armrest. You do have grab handles on both sides, as well as AC vents. That's a nice touch. You have a center light as well, which brightens up the cabin, so let's keep that on. We have controls for the air conditioning over here. And we have this, so if you want to irritate the driver, if the driver is not listening to you, you can just do this and make him listen to you or cause an accident, up to you. Now this car is actually a 7-seater and we do have seats at the back as well. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get inside the back today because I probably won't fit. Alright guys, now let's open this massive tailgate which has Super Select 4x4, which is cool nonetheless. Oh, okay, this is actually quite big and heavy. So the boot space at the back is quite decent with all 3 rows up. And as you guys obviously know, these will definitely fold down if you want to use this as a full cargo space. And you also have wires for the subwoofer, which is not there anymore. And finally guys, this sums up the exterior and the interior. Now it's time to get driving. Alright guys, we're all set to go. Dream come true for me, driving a Pajero. Yeah guys. The Pajero rose to life. And literally guys, for such an old diesel engine, it's actually quite refined and not that bad. Let's quickly turn on the AC and get driving straight away. Alright guys, driving the Mitsubishi Pajero. Now the Pajero was designed in the mid-80s and its design has remained largely unchanged until it was discontinued in 2012. That means that this car has almost 40-year-old design, and that shows in the driving dynamics, which makes it feel like a dinosaur when compared to the modern SUVs like the Fortuner and the Endeavour. The Pajero is a proper ladder frame SUV with the butch stance, off-road wheels and robust suspension designed for off-roading. Unlike modern SUVs, which strike a balance between city driving and off-roading, the Pajero is a proper old-school SUV, and that means its on-road manners suffers quite badly. The ride is lumpy, and the suspension crashes through sharp bumps quite badly. The steering too is on a really different level. It offers absolutely zero feel and feedback, and you have absolutely no idea what the front wheels are doing. The turning circle too is absolutely massive, and that means driving this car in city limits is quite cumbersome. The visibility on the other hand is quite good. The flat windscreen, large glass area, big mirrors, as well as the aftermarket reverse camera in this vehicle really help make this vehicle quite maneuverable despite its size, and that's a good thing. This particular example has a broken clock spring, and that's why the horn doesn't work from the steering, and that's why the airbag light is also on. This vehicle does have a proper jugaad arrangement for the horn, and I must say it does sound really good and bring back memories of my school van days. The horn is just really epic though. Now, having this old school vehicle does have one big advantage, and that is a really good advantage. Its looks. The Pajero looks like an absolute monster. Especially with this bull bar and the politician's flag coupled with the van-like horn, you've got yourself a vehicle that absolutely pushes everybody out of your way. Two-wheelers, cyclists, people, nobody dares to stand in front of your vehicle, and this road presence is unmatched. Unfortunately, the Pajero doesn't have the go to match all the show. It's powered by a 2.8-liter turbo engine producing just 107 bhp and 292 Nm of torque. And that means even a Mahindra XUV 300 with a 1.5-liter diesel engine produces more power and torque. That coupled with the really massive heavy weight of the Pajero means that you got a vehicle which does not perform very well both on the city and the highway. Yes, city performance is not too bad as the 5-speed gearbox has quite short gearing, which means that it can keep up with traffic quite well. However, out on the highway, going above 120 is a struggle, and even if you do that, I would not recommend doing that because like I showed you, the steering is not very feelsome and the brakes leave a lot to be desired in this big heavy dinosaur. Now, you guys must be thinking I'm going a bit hard on this old Pajero, and that's true, especially when you compare it to modern competitors. However, the Pajero was designed in the mid-80s and it was designed to carry people in relative comfort on roads that don't exist with zero or no maintenance at all, and that the Pajero does excellently even today. You guys know Mitsubishi left our country long time back, but these old Pajeros are still running and most of them are running in very good condition. This car, 1,63,000 kilometers, is running perfectly fine even without Mitsubishi service. These engines need minimum maintenance, and just changing the engine oil on time and of course the other preventative maintenance steps will keep these vehicles running forever and ever, and that is a real USP of this vehicle. To emphasize my point, this Pajero was actually for sale when I was filming this video. However, when this video goes live, this Pajero has already been sold, and that, my friends, is the appeal of the Pajero. Yes, it's old, yes, it has the driving dynamics of a dinosaur, and yes, it does not perform that well. However, in our road conditions, for the uses which people have for them, the Pajero still remains one of the best cars and the best value for money buys at any price point. One thing you guys will definitely notice with this car is that everybody who sees you will definitely think that you're some politician from some Kachi or something. In a way, guys, that feeling is really awesome. Once again, guys, a huge shout out and thanks to Mr. Fahad Fazil of FF Cars Tamil Nadu for providing this Pajero for review. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, take a second to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, bye bye. You guys can really feel the vehicle twist with the torque. That's the amount of torque this engine produces. Oh, you also get a backup camera, though it's not a very good quality one.